What's going on, you guys? Steven from Airsoft Tech, and today I am bringing you guys the review of this ASG M40A5 gas-operated sniper rifle. If you guys are interested in purchasing this gun, I will leave a link in the description to Fox Airsoft where you can go ahead and purchase the gun for around $330. I also want to give a big thanks to Fox Airsoft because without them, these reviews and these videos wouldn't have been possible because they are kind enough to send this out to me. So big thanks to Fox Airsoft. And if you guys did not know, they're actually holding a giveaway for this ASG M40A5 on their website. I will leave a link in the description for that as well. All you have to do is click the link. It'll take you to a page. You just put in your name and your email address, and then you're good to go. And then the winner will be sent an email June 20th. Okay, so June 20th, that is when, you know, whoever the winner is will get an email. So if you don't get an email on June 20th, you know you did not win. But if June 20th comes around and you get an email from Fox Airsoft saying congratulations, you won our ASG M40A5 giveaway, obviously respond to that, and so you can go ahead and claim your prize. Lastly, before we get into the review, I just want to say there are not going to be any clips of me firing the gun, so you guys won't hear what it sounds like or anything like that, because this is just strictly the review. If you want to see the gun in action and the gun being fired and how it performs, just basically the whole performance of this gun, I will leave a link in the description to my latest video, or my last video, which is the shooting test of this gun, and you can go ahead and see that, and it will show you everything on the performance side. Alright, so we're going to be starting from the tip, and then we'll be working our way to the back of the gun, the stock. So up front here, as you guys can see, we have a really bright orange full metal flash hider here. What's nice about it though is you can actually go ahead and take that off, and then you can go ahead and put on a suppressor, you know, a silencer, or even just a black version of this flash hider that they have on, or you can just take this off and spray paint it black, whatever you want. It's nice so that you can take it off. They have 14mm counterclockwise threads on there, so you can go ahead and put anything you want on the gun. You don't have to be stuck with this really nasty, super bright orange flash hider. And all the way down, as you guys can see, we do have that full metal outer barrel, and then obviously inside we do have a full metal inner barrel. Alright, so now taking a look at the bipod, I've seen some mixed opinions, mixed reviews on this bipod in the comments of the unboxing video of this gun, as well as the shooting test, saying how the bipod is good at the start, and then if you use it for a little bit, it will start breaking down super fast. I haven't had any problems with it. You know, granted, I've had the gun for only about 2 weeks now, and I haven't used it all too much, but you know, it seems really sturdy. It's full metal, it is pretty damn heavy, and it's just all the functionalities of it are performing flawless right now. There's nothing sticky, there's nothing, you know, not working or anything like that. This bipod, if you were to buy it separately, is $80, so it is a pretty damn expensive bipod. But I'm just going to run you guys through, you know, all the functions and whatnot and what it's capable of. So firstly, if you don't want the bipod, you can obviously go ahead and fold it upwards. I'm going to go ahead and put it back down though, and these really nice big springs just kind of give it that more, you know, hard look, which I kind of really like. This knob right here though, this is to actually make sure it's tight up against the lower frame here. So if I went ahead and loosen this screw, look, it's already getting loose. Go ahead and tighten that, and that just makes sure it's, you know, it's really tight against the body of the sniper rifle, so it doesn't get loose, doesn't fall off or anything like that. So you want to make sure this is nice and tight up on there. Secondly, now going ahead with the legs here, you can obviously go ahead and put them back in. These are what it looks like fully extended. All you have to do to put them back in or to retract them is push this button right here. Push that in, and then you can go ahead and push this in all the way in, and it locks into place, or you can push it in and it locks into that position, push it in again, locks to that position. That's the third position actually. See that little notch right there? There's a whole bunch of notches here that you can go ahead and do it. That's the next one, and that's the full one actually. So that's full length right there. And so the legs, again, you can fold them in, you can put them all the way in, you know, they don't have to be extended like that. You can fold them up, as I said. And then lastly, going to the rear of the bipod, hopefully you guys can see all this. We have this little metal, not switch, I guess maybe we could call it switch, piece right here though, is when you loosen it, if you just turn it counterclockwise to loosen it, you can go ahead and make the rifle kind of swivel, just like that. So if you want it to lean to the left, go ahead and tighten it back up just by pulling this back down, and then it stays like that, just like so. Go ahead and loosen it again, and you can tilt it the other way, and then go ahead and tighten that metal switch again, or go ahead and loosen it and make sure it's perfectly straight, and then tighten it just like so. And that's probably what, you know, all of us are going to have it on, unless you're like laying in a weird situation or you know, a weird position on the ground and you need it to be slanted for some reason. But yeah, so that's very nice that you can lean it any way you want. So it's very, very cool feature. Looking just above that bipod though, we do have our first sling point here. All you have to do is put a little button in here and then you can go ahead and attach a sling point. We have a whole bunch of sling attachment points on the stock as well, but here's our first one. We have another one on the other side, so they're both identical on both sides. And if you can see these little, notches right there, there's 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. They have the same thing on the other side of the barrel, and what that's for is you can actually go ahead and attach a really nice looking rail piece here to go ahead and mount anything else you want. Maybe you can have like a little aim cam or something like that. So if I could have a rail segment here, I have Knobbrich's aim cam, I could go ahead and put that rail segment on and then mount that little aim cam or whatever onto the rail segment so it's looking right down the barrel. So that's pretty cool. Or you can just think of anything else that you could put up on there, but that is separate, and I'm not sure how much that runs for, but I'll put a picture on the screen right now of what that rail segment looks like. Alright, moving down now, as you guys can see, we are near the guts of the gun basically. So we do have our full metal magazine. This magazine holds 14 BBs and it is off green gas. I believe you can convert this to HPA. It's going to take some work, but if you want more consistent shots and not, a drop in FPS or anything like that, you could obviously go ahead and convert this to HPA. You could use propane. Personally, I've just been using green gas because I have to, ship this gun back. This was only sent out to me to do videos on. But I really haven't had any problems with it. I will mention though, in the shooting test video, I did see a huge drop off in FPS at the start, but that was also early in the morning. It was pretty damn cold out. Later in the day when it warmed up and the magazine kind of got time to be broken in and whatnot, it started to perform pretty nicely, and there wasn't really any big drop offs. It was pretty consistent all the way through. So I was a little nervous or a little concerned at the start, but just give the magazine just a little bit of time and you'll break it in and it'll perform perfectly. So behind the magazine though, we do have our trigger and our trigger guard and our mag release, that little button right there. The only con I could probably say about this gun is the mag well and the magazine basically. And what I mean by that, go ahead and listen to this. Ready? Do you hear that click? Do you hear how hard that is to go ahead and release the magazine? And it's such a tight fit, it really is, and you have to literally line the magazine up perfectly. Obviously at the very start when I unboxed it, I was having some troubles getting the magazine in, but once you get used to it, you kind of get a feel for it. Look at that, I'm not even really looking, I'm just doing it underneath the gun, and I already got used to it. The other thing about the magazine is you really have to kind of hit it hard into the gun. Look, yeah, see, it wasn't even locked in by pushing it in. You really have to push it in like that until you hear that click. So you really want to make sure you push that magazine up into the mag well so that the BBs are inside of the bolt, and then when you pull the bolt back or whatever, it feeds the BB in. So you want to make sure that you push the magazine hard enough so the BBs feed just right and that there's no misfeeds or anything like that. Above that though, we obviously have our outer barrel, as I said, and then above that we do have a rail piece here, a rail segment. And what you could obviously do is just like what I did, I went ahead and mounted a scope. This is a 3-9x40 AIM Sports scope. It does what I needed to do, nothing more. It's just a perfect scope for me. You could obviously mount anything else you want. You could get like a $200-300 scope if you want some ridiculous, like super high powered or something like that type of scope, but this works just fine. We do have a serial number right here, so I'm going to take a close-up shot for you guys so you can see exactly what it says. So there's the trademark I was talking about. It is engraved. It says US, and then there's like V1500976, like a serial number or whatever. So that's pretty cool. There's not too many trademarks on this gun, but the trademarks that are on it, it's nice because they are deeply engraved into the metal, so they're not just like painted on or they look cheap or funky or anything like that. I'm going to take the magazine out before we move any further. Go ahead and make that click sound with the mag release, and we're going to take a look at the magazine real fast. So there is obviously where you feed the BBs in. Let me try and get that to focus. I apologize about that. There we go. You go ahead and pull that spring down just a little bit. Get a speed loader. Just pump your BBs in, and you'll be good to go. It's not too hard to go ahead and load the magazine in, and that is where you go ahead and fill the gas in, just like so. Gas release, and then that's pretty much all there is to it. But the magazine, you guys, I said this in the unboxing video, this thing is so freaking heavy. It's definitely over a pound. It's just literally a whole block of metal. So that's pretty cool. But I'm going to try my best to put the magazine back into the gun, just like so. Click it in there, and then we're good to go. So with all that being said though, let's go ahead and move back to the stock, because there are some pretty neat features back there that I'd like to discuss. So now moving on to the stock here, we do have more sling points. As I mentioned, we have one right there, we have one on the bottom, and then one on the other side, just like this. And what's cool about this though is they have an aluminum cheek riser here. However, on the outside it is rubber plated. As you guys can hear that, It is metal. It's not plastic, how a lot of, you know, snipers nowadays, they are all plastic. This is full metal. I believe it's aluminum. It is pretty heavy, as you guys can hear. Makes a nice clink sound. However, the outside is rubber coated, so when you put your face against it, it feels really, really nice against your cheek, or wherever your face is leaning up against it. And what's nice though is that you can also adjust it. Obviously, you can put it all the way up, and there's screws on the other side. I'll show you guys when we flip the gun around, but you can go ahead and adjust it to whatever height you want. So you can even put it down kind of in the middle-ish, like that, I would say, and then tighten it up so it's like not all the way down but not all the way up. But anyways, moving all the way back here to the butt pads here, or shoulder pads. This is very nice too, because you can actually go ahead and adjust these. So they have these little slots here, as you guys can see, or different layers, I should probably say, and you can actually go ahead and take it off. So the length in which, you know, where your face is leaning up against this, or the length of how far the gun is away from you, because of the shoulder pads, you can go ahead and shorten it so you're kind of closer up to the scope, closer up to the gun, and not so far back. So you can go ahead and completely adjust that. You can completely go ahead and adjust the cheek riser. So everything here, as I said, it's just a really high quality gun. It really is. So overall, I'm just super pleased with this gun, you guys. Everything here is just super high quality, super sturdy, super thick, super strong. It doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. Alright, so I went ahead and flipped the gun around. These are the screws and knobs that I was talking about to go ahead and adjust the cheek riser. Go ahead and loosen them, and it drops. Go ahead and tighten them, and it stays in place. So very simple, nothing really else different on this side. Again, go ahead and you can adjust the shoulder pads. We got the other sling point here, and I'm not really too sure what these slots in the stock are for. It's probably something with the cheek riser. And then again, we have the textured grip where your hands would sit, or where your hand would sit when you're going in and firing the gun. So nothing really else is too different here. Just wanted to show you guys the screws and the knobs from this side. Alright, so now we're back toward the middle of the gun here. Again, we have my Aim Sport scope here. We have this little sticker here that says 1.8 Joel, and then made in Taiwan, if you guys can see that. And then above the sticker though, here we have an ASG logo, and then we have like Cal 6mm BB, just basically written into the plastic here. So nothing really too crazy here. You can obviously go ahead and take off the 1.8 Joel sticker and the made in Taiwan. But anyways, moving on though, I want to get to the bolt real quick, because this bolt here, it's something that I'm totally new to. I do have snipers. I've had snipers in the past. I use my Echo 1 PSR. They've all been spring powered. So I'm pretty new when it comes to gas sniper rifles. And what I was really excited to, you know, try out for the first time is the bolt, because it is so simple to go ahead and pull the bolt back. As you guys can see, I'm gonna take the magazine out, or the bolt will stop because there's no BBs in. So I'm taking the magazine out. But when you go ahead and push it in, look at that. I can use one finger, and then all you do is lock it into place and pull the trigger. It is so simple and so smooth. I'm in love with it. I'm being completely honest. It's so easy. And what's also cool about this gas sniper rifle, unlike a spring operated sniper rifle, you have to pull the spring or the bolt all the way back to go ahead and compress the spring, so you can go ahead and shoot the gun, so the spring then releases and then the BB flies out and whatnot. All the mechanics of the internals. This, you don't even have to pull back all the way. You can simply just go back like that, so the BB is shown, and then you can go ahead and feed it again. So you can simply just go super fast and get more shots downrange. So I went ahead and zoomed the camera up real quick just to show you guys the safety. The safety is pretty nice. It is a little stiff, but I'd rather have it be stiff than be super loose and it just, you know, going from safe to fire, you know, just freely. So anyways, for it to actually be engaged, you have to have the gun cocked. So as you guys can see, that little black piece is kind of sticking out, which means it's cocked. And then when it's not out, you obviously know it's not cocked. But to pull the bolt back, just go like that, just like so. Push it down, and that's when you can actually have it go into safe mode. So when it's pushed all the way up, just like so, it has a little F up here, which means it's on fire. Go ahead and pull this back, just like so. Now it's all the way back here, and there's a little S engraved into the metal, which lets you know that it's pulled back into safe mode, and you cannot pull the trigger, obviously. Go ahead, push it back up, just like so, into fire, and you can pull the trigger. So sticking with the bolt here, something very neat about this gun, which I don't think many guns have, this feature is just incredible. And what that is, you can literally change the FPS. And no, not by, you know, increasing the weight of BBs, which means your FPS will drop. Not by, you know, if it's a spring operated gun, you go ahead and weaken the spring, and then you can go ahead and weaken the FPS or lower the FPS. This, you literally just have to turn a knob. All you do is go ahead, take your bolt out like that, and there's a little button inside the trigger guard. You just push that in, and your bolt can come all the way out just like so. Alright, so once you have your bolt taken out, underneath you have a little scroll right here, a little wheel, and then a little pinhole. What you do is you go ahead and take an Allen key, a super small Allen key. God, there's flies all over my fingers. You go ahead and put the Allen key in there and you loosen it because there is a screw in there, and then once the screw is loosened, you can go ahead and go back to the screw right here and turn it counterclockwise for increased FPS, and then if you turn it clockwise, you get less FPS. You can literally weaken or, strengthen your gun by simply loosening a screw and then just turning this either clockwise or counterclockwise. So that is pretty damn cool. Alright, so I'm zoomed in here just to show you guys a closer look of the trademarks on this side. I know I read them out loud to you guys. However, just wanted to show you guys up close. It says ASG Cal 6mm BB, and it has that 1.8 Joel. Sorry that it's super bright, but it's on a white sticker, so it's just, the reflection and whatnot. And then next to that, we do have that black sticker made in Taiwan. You can go ahead and take both of these off, obviously, and then you'd only be left with that right there. But for this case, I'm leaving them on because, as I said, I have to ship this gun back to Fox Airsoft. The other reason why we're zoomed in here is not just to look at the trademarks, but to look at that little pinhole. If you guys can see that right there, that is actually the hop up, and where you can adjust the hop up so your BB gets more hop or less hop. All right, moving back up towards the tip of the barrel. As I said, they do have that nice textured grip up there, so if you didn't have this bipod here and you're standing up and holding the gun, you'd most likely be holding it and your fingers would be wrapped around this. And again, you have that textured grip. That's why they put it in those areas. But again, you're probably going to be wearing gloves, maybe not for the most part. Probably most of us will be, and you won't be feeling it all too much, but it's nice that they included that little feature there. They kept that in the back of their minds. But again, going back to the bipod here, nothing too crazy. Again, we have that sling point, and then this again is the knob or the switch, the metal switch here, so you can get and loosen it and then tilt the gun whatever way. You can increase the length of the legs of the bipod. You can fold the legs up. You have the screw here to go ahead and actually take off the bipod completely, and that's pretty much it. It's a pretty high quality bipod though, and I don't have any fears whatsoever of this breaking on me anytime soon. As I said, there was mixed reviews and opinions in the comments about this not lasting a very long time and it breaking down on them. But again, as I said, I've only had the gun for about 2 weeks now or so, and I haven't seen any problems, but who knows. Anyways though, guys, that's probably everything that needs to be mentioned. We went all the way from the rear of the gun with the shoulder pads being adjusted, to the cheek riser being adjusted, all the sling points on the stock, up to the textured grip where your hand is sitting right by the trigger. We have the metal trigger guard, the metal mag release, we have the metal bolt, the metal safety, we have the rail segment to go ahead and mount your scope on, we have our magazine, which is right here, which is right next to the trigger guard, which again holds 14 BBs in green gas or propane, or can be converted to HPA, whatever you want. We have that little pinhole there for your hop up, so you can put an Allen key in there and adjust it. And remember, the bolt, you can go ahead and adjust the FPS as well. And then we have more of that textured grip up near the front, right next to the bipod, and that bipod again is super high quality, and I think it's fantastic, and I don't really have any concerns with it whatsoever at the moment. Basically, right above the bipod, we have those little segments there, that little piece there, so you can go ahead and mount that extra rail segment on, so you can go ahead and mount other accessories. And then moving down the barrel, we do have that full metal flash hider, which again can be taken off, which will reveal 14mm counterclockwise threading, so you can go ahead and mount a flash hider, a suppressor, silencer, whatever you want. But overall, this gun, you guys, it is really damn solid. I will be hopefully doing a comparison video between my Echo One PSR and this gun right here, and I'll be using Novrich's aim cam so we can get nice zoomed in footage of the BBs and the flight path and whatnot. And overall, it's just going to be a sniper oriented type of video, and I think it should be a pretty cool video. So if you guys want to see that video very soon, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I do upload new videos. But with all that being said, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Links to the giveaway for this gun and links to go ahead and purchase this gun are in the description. But that's going to be it for the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.